welcome.
Was shaking.
All right, I'm gonna accept it because it's only three of us. As you can see, we're a couple short. I got that bullshit.
Damn, son, that's the second week in a row. They told you your shit was first.
I'm trying to mix it up, man. I don't want to say.
Nah, man, you gotta be consistent. I'm about to. Don't worry, I'm gonna get the real horn. It's all right.
Don't take my job. Don't AI me. Don't AI me. Don't take my job, brother.
They took our jobs. They took our jobs.
We back, baby. Yo, look, we're gonna do the name shake today. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
And we're gonna take some shots. You heard?
Who we?
Yeah, who we? And you're disgusting.
You and your cat?
Chips has no taste buds. The line in his stomach is gone.
Yo, this is fine gin, brother. This is fine gin, okay?
No, it is. I will agree. I will agree. It is good gin.
Compared to all the other worst gins, you're right.
Wait, what's that? What?
The Orbium.
I don't know about all that.
Nah, it's good, bro. It's good, bro.
Don't add no extra florals to my floral already.
They said we're gonna give you flowers in this gin / used to be vodka until we did something else to it in the barrels. It's crazy when I'm this year's old when I found out that the shit is basically the same.
I feel like mad alcohol like that too on the low.
Where it's just the similar shit, just aged differently.
I think I found that shit out 2 years ago.
That was baffling to me. I'm literally sitting there watching TV like, what? Yo, did y'all know this? And then all y'all motherfuckers, yeah, you late, motherfucker. Fuck y'all. But we welcome everybody back, man. We missing two, Puda and PH. PH couldn't get out of lockup. And, Puda on house arrest.
Mm-hmm. It bees like that sometimes. It bees like that.
Hey, man. Up. We all here. We all go through it.
Out.
Except me. I don't got to worry about that.
Yo, son, stop talking tough, son.
I don't got to worry about that.
Stop talking tough over this.
Got to worry about that shit.
I know. Yo, Dutch. Yo, holla at me, Dutch. We got to talk.
Shit, I wish he would. But, we just going to jump right into these topics, man. We're going to start off with power rankings, man. Football is definitely been going. No. Last 2 weeks.
Why we didn't do this when they was 6-1 though?
Nah, I was about to say last 2 weeks I've been getting a lot of Giants smoke talking about Giants and power rankings. Okay, let's see where we at now. Let's see. Chips, you got your power rankings ready?
I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
Let me go, man.
Go ahead. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna do Puda because Puda did send me his after making a few alterations to his top 5 because he was wilding a little bit. I told him I was gonna give him some smoke, but Puda's top 5 in this order is Bills number 1, Chiefs 2, Eagles 3, Vikings 4, Cowboys 5.
Say that one more time.
Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, Vikings, Cowboys.
Okay.
All I'm going to say is when Puda first sent me this, and I'm snitching, he going to be mad because I'm snitching too. It was Bills, Eagles, Vikings, Cowboys, Giants.
So?
I said, yo, if you don't get the fuck out of here.
Yo, man, that sounds like a good one to me.
Yo.
Listen, let me tell you something right now. I ain't make a bottom 5, but at the time that we are recording, it is 14-14. If the Texans beat the Eagles, they go from bottom to number 1 in power rankings for me. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Say I don't care about records.
But I'm gonna go with Eagles 1. Let me tell you something. I'm only putting Eagles 1 because I don't want people to feel like I'm being biased. I truly don't believe that they're 1. I don't truly believe that they're 1. But they haven't lost up until this point. They haven't lost. So I'm gonna give them number 1. I got Buffalo 2. I got the Chiefs 3. And deep down inside, pause, I feel like Buffalo and the Chiefs are better than the Eagles. But whatever. The Vikings 4. And number 5, I'm a little torn because it would have easily been the Cowboys. It would have easily been the Cowboys. But I just like the way the Texans are playing. I feel like the Texans just got their identity back.
The Texans?
I'm sorry, the Titans.
Oh, I'm like,
that's how bad I want them to win tonight.
I look back up at the TV like, what?
That's how.
I said the Texans. He dead ass about it.
That's how bad I want them to win. I feel like the Titans got their identity back. Just give Henry the ball as many times.
Put my face on a YouTube short because I know that I was bugging just there.
They even started throwing Henry the ball. Like, just get that man the ball as much as possible. But I'm gonna put the Cowboys at 5 when it really should be the fucking Cowboys.
You don't have a Dwight Howard?
Nah, I don't got a Dwight Howard.
I got both. I'm gonna start with my top 5. I have the Buffalo Bills. And like Pop said, I'm a big sticker on they haven't lost yet, right? But I just think this Buffalo Bills team is that good that one loss doesn't sway them from being a top dog at this point. 6-1, they're better than the 7-0 Eagles. I have Philly number 2, Kansas City number 3, Minnesota number 4, and then Dallas number 5. My bottom, I have the Detroit Lions as the worst team.
Really?
Yeah. Next, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next, I have the Carolina Panthers. No, I'm sorry, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then the Panthers, and
I think you're leaving somebody out, fam.
Hold on. My number 27 is the Raiders.
What about the team that the Eagles are playing right now?
Word.
The Texans? I don't think they're worse than any of those teams.
That's crazy.
Okay. I mean they got a victory. They got a tie.
Okay. That's where it ends. They
got a victory. They got a tie. I don't think they're worse than the 1-6 Detroit Lions. Pittsburgh is 2-6. Jaguars.
So that means they got more wins.
I got the Jaguars definitely better than the Texans.
I do as well.
I mean, it's fine.
But hey, listen, let me shut up because I ain't make a list. So let me shut up.
Well, this your Dwight Howard. You right?
My Dwight Howard.
Yo, Puda, lead the Giants on there, Puda. Don't listen to Chris.
I think the Texans is doing all right for their roster, man.
Shit. So Puda's Dwight Howard is Panthers 28, Raiders 29, Steelers 30, Texans 31, Lions 32. So here's my top.
He got 5. The Lions last 2. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
do.
See, the way Chips feel about the Texans, that's how I feel about the Lions. Like, the Lions
have been in a lot of games. They've been
record
competitive.
Their record is bad, but they play.
Yes. So for me, my top 5 is the Bills at number 1. No.
49ers.
I'm a realist.
49ers.
Now, if you ask who the best quarterback on the team was, it's Christian McCaffrey. But Bills at 1, Eagles 2. I agree. I do feel like the Bills are a better team, and then with them getting Tre'Davious White back this week, apparently, that's gonna make their defense that much better, which is retarded to me that they could afford all these fucking players. But yeah, Eagles are at 2. Eagles getting, the recent pass rush addition keeps them up there in that top 2 for me. It almost made me make them number 1 being undefeated as well because their team is fucking stacked. Chiefs are at 3 because the Chiefs have just still been performing. And adding a wide receiver is, again, crazy to me. Vikings have been my surprise as this
Give
year.
my son Chips his props, son.
Give me
Give
my
my
flowers.
son Chips his props.
Give me
And
my
we
flowers,
all
B.
black front office, baby.
Give me my flowers, B. Give me my flowers.
Man, this motherfucker was guessing. I don't want to hear that shit.
So, well, he guessed right.
He guessed right. But Vikings are 4. I got the Dolphins at 5. For me, it was between the Dolphins and the Ravens. The only reason I went Dolphins is because they bust the Ravens' ass when they played them.
Wait, who don't you have that we had? Say your 5 again?
Dallas.
I had Cowboys, yeah. I had Cowboys. I don't believe in them. I don't believe the Cowboys are that. Yeah, I just don't. But Dolphins have showed when healthy and with Tua, they're a fucking problem. Like a serious problem on offense. And their defense just got a lot better as far as the pass rush goes. So, yeah, Dolphins are in my top 5. Again, it was between them and the Ravens, not the Cowboys or any other team.
You know what's funny? We gonna get into the Kyrie shit later, but oh no, it wasn't Kyrie. It wasn't Kyrie. It was the Steve Nash being fired. The NFL trade deadline for the first time was popping like the NBA normally is, and then the NBA still came and stole a shot.
I don't even want to talk about the trade deadline really, but
listen,
NBA
man.
was like, nah, it's too
Word.
much.
They was like, hold on, don't fire Nash yet. Hold on. They was like, not only are you gonna fire Nash, but you're gonna hire Ume Udoka too.
Yep. Then
Nobody
we're gonna make
was
some suspensions. Fuck
you know how many trades was flying? Big names too. Big names.
A lot.
NBA step right all over that.
You know what? Fuck this shit.
They gotta have like a special, son. Like the NBA have a special trade deadline.
NFL don't be attention needing motherfuckers, man. I tell you.
So I got a freestyle question for y'all.
Hold on, let me get my Dwight Howard, please.
Oh, you didn't do that yet? All right, go ahead.
Slow down, killer.
The 49ers.
No, shut the fuck up.
Oh, my bad. I mean, San Francisco.
Look, there you go. I got Houston as the worst team in the league. Detroit is number 2. Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, and then Vegas.
Vegas. That hurts.
Them motherfuckers is terrible, man. Yo, Josh McDaniels just don't need to be a head coach.
Poor Adams, bro. Poor Adams.
Josh McDaniels.
Nah, ain't no poor Adams.
Not no poor Adams.
He could have stayed. He could have stayed in
he made his choice. He wasn't traded.
He made the wrong choice, man. He made the wrong choice.
Adams.
I mean, at this point, both choices look like there's horrible choices, so it don't make much of a difference. Both teams can't fucking stop a nosebleed at this point. But what's your toss-up question?
Freestyle question. Two part. First part is most impactful trade that went down, and most surprising trade that didn't happen.
Most impactful, I would have to go all of the Dolphins' moves because I feel
what did they get? Just so the people know.
Damn, I gotta pull it up.
Look it up.
They got Bradley Chubb.
They got Bradley Chubb. They got Jeff Wilson.
Running back from the 49ers.
I feel like there's one more thing they got, but that might have been it.
I think it was just those two, if I'm not mistaken. No, and they traded. No, because Chase Edmonds was a part of the Chubb deal because they gave up a lot for Bradley Chubb.
Yeah,
I think it was like 2 picks and a player, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah,
Jeff Wilson was to replace
yeah, it was
JJ.
just Bradley Chubb and Jeff Wilson. But
Where's Mostert?
say
He's
what?
starting for them. He's their starting running back for the
That's
Dolphins.
crazy. That's bananas.
That's why he went there because of
Mm.
the head coach, as well as that's why they traded for Jeff Wilson,
Yeah, he
because
went
they
from
both played under him.
They both was in San Francisco when they was good. But I got Miami because I just feel like they going all the way with it. Like they did the wide receiver trade. Now they not all the way happy with their running back, so let's add another running back. And then one of the fucking best, well, let me not say that, but a very good edge rusher. Like they coming for Buffalo. They coming for that division. They might not get it, but they gonna try their hardest. What you think, Chris?
But no. What trade didn't happen?
What trade then?
Most
Brandon
surprising
Cooks.
trade that didn't happen.
Brandon Cooks. Everybody in the world thought Brandon Cooks was out of here. But the funny thing is, I read that's a shame. I don't even know who they coach is, but they asked the coach because he wasn't there on the day, like he wasn't at practice, and they was like, "Does it have something to do with the trade?" And he was like, "Damn," he's like, "Man is out for personal reasons. Just assuming we just traded him just because we're not here." I mean, like it is trade deadline, so they have a reason to assume it, but.
Lovey Smith.
Lovey Smith said that. I think everybody just assumed he was out of here, so I was kind of shocked to see him stay.
Yeah, did he?
I'd say biggest impact trade. The Dolphins trade, although the Dolphins trade was very good, I'd say the Ravens getting Roquan Smith. Or the 49ers getting Christian McCaffrey were the biggest trades of the year so far.
I wasn't even factoring that in. I was just thinking about the deadline.
Just the deadline? If it's just deadline, then I would say the Roquan Smith deal was a little bit bigger because the depth that the Ravens have at linebacker now with Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, and they have 2 edge rushers that are, one is in his second year and the other one is in his first, like his rookie season. Like their linebackers are very young, very fucking fast, and very instinctive and ball hungry. So that could be very big for their defense to help out their secondary, who's always either getting hurt or something's up with them. The biggest trade that didn't happen would have to be, as much as I feel like Chips wants to say the Giants not getting a wide receiver, I'd have to say the Packers.
I don't even want to say that though. That's great.
I'd have to say the Packers not coming up on any wide receivers at all. Like that's like how bad they're playing and how obvious it is that they need some sort of pass catcher for them to not to make no moves at all is crazy to me.
It's
like,
funny
just
you
completely
say that.
crazy.
I didn't even fact that whole week. I wasn't even thinking about them.
About the Packers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I felt like that would have been a no-brainer, but it was also
right. You absolutely right. But I didn't.
Who said it? I think it was Adam Schefter. He was on either First Take or Get Up, and he was like, "The Packers know who they are. They've been this way for weeks now. Why the hell would we think that they would wait until week 8 to now want to go for a wide receiver, and they haven't done it all year? I don't care.
All year, the past 3 years.
Listen, you figure teams is offering up discount rates at week 8 just to get players out the door. Like, I'm sure Brandon Cooks would have probably been at a fucking bargain deal at this point where you could have got him for a fucking 6th-round pick or something. Like, nothing crazy. You could have gotten a good deal on a fucking wide receiver in week 8 at this point where teams are just trying to part ways. Between injuries and just needs. Like, literally, every week it's another 5 drops from Packers pass catchers. Like, it makes no sense to me. But yeah, that would be where I would go with it. What you think, Chips?
So my most impactful, I agree with you, Ethan. Roquan Smith. Based off of what through 7 games or 8 games, what is it 7 or 8? It's 7. What is the Ravens' problem? They get a lead, they can't hold it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So them showing up that defense by getting Roquan Smith, that just makes them that much better, and that helps them in the long run towards closing out games. Because that's been their issue. They've had leads. Even when they lost to my Giants, they had the lead. But the defense couldn't hold up, couldn't keep up the pressure. So adding a player like Smith does a lot to help that out. And like you said, speed and coverage, and it just does a lot. Getting to the quarterback, forcing the ball out quicker, is going to really help them out. As far as the biggest trade that didn't happen, it's one or two. Either Moore's wide receivers, Elijah Moore or Moore from Carolina. The reason why, DJ Moore. The reason why I say Elijah Moore is because the Jets are playing very well. I don't know why you would want to keep a disgruntled wide receiver. You haven't shown that you want to implement him more into the offense. So I don't, like, your team is talented enough to where you don't need that distraction. You're trying to build a winning culture, a positive attitude around the clubhouse, not clubhouse, but locker room. Why even leave a player that that's in the media like basically saying I don't have a rapport with my quarterback, right? So if you're trying to change your identity and change into a winning and positive culture, I think you just need you should be willing and ready to part ways with all kind of negative energy. And it's clear that he's not happy, and it's clear that you don't need him in that offense to succeed because you haven't used him all year. And Carolina, DJ Moore, you got rid of Anderson. You clearly in a rebuilding stage. Fire sale. You're not doing nothing this year. You have nothing to play for right now. Get some assets. DJ Moore, I feel like could have gave you at least, at minimum, I'm not even going to say second because some people might balk at that, but a 3rd round pick. By shipping him off somewhere. And I was kind of hoping my Giants would go that route to where we don't have to give up a second, but here, take a 3rd and give us a decent wide receiver. But I really thought Carolina, I think they have somebody on the defensive line that's pretty good too that I thought would have got traded. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh, Brian Burns?
They wanted a lot for him.
Yeah, Brian Burns was gonna cost you a lot.
I mean, listen, whatever you had to pay for. I thought they would be on a fire sale basically, and they basically did nothing after the.
He's still so young. I would not. He's still super young. He's still on his rookie deal. I think he's only like 23, maybe. Mm-hmm. I'd still do fire sale and build around him.
My only rebuttal to everything you say is that it takes 2 to tango. Like, I could want to trade him. Do I give him away for anything? Do anybody value him?
In regard, like what? In regard to
all of the players you name. Like, even
so, you don't think Carolina would take a 3rd round pick for more? I think that's a good deal.
I'm not saying they wouldn't. I'm saying who's going to give a 3rd round pick and be willing to take on his money. Same thing with Brandon Cooks. He's 18 million guaranteed next year. Mm-hmm. Do you want to pay Brandon Cooks 18 million and still give up draft picks? Like, do you really want to do that? So they probably wanted to. Now the Jets, I don't know. Like, the sports are different, so it's like sometimes when I think about trading, I just think about trading as a whole in all sports. But football is a little different. It's like I don't care if you say you won out. Like, like, all right, so you ain't going nowhere unless we get what we want. But I don't know. I don't even know. Like, what has Mims and Moore done to even another team to want them like that?
Yeah.
It's like, do I give these guys away that I drafted in the second round for a fourth and fifth pick, or do I see if I could salvage the relationship next year or something, and then maybe things would be all right? Like, I'm not just gonna throw them away for anything.
Yeah, I feel like Moore got to sit his ass down and just be patient and wait. Like you see, everything is gelling right now. You in, I think it's the second year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bro,
second.
you haven't done nothing.
at all.
Even last year, you ain't do nothing. You haven't, and obviously you're not showing nothing in practice.
Well,
to where,
the Giants got rid of fucking Tony.
Yeah, they did. I think that goes off of two things. One, Tony was quiet. He sat down and be quiet. He didn't make a fuss about it.
Sat down, motherfucker.
And there's still footage of what he did when he was healthy and on the field. He went crazy for like
I
2-3
think that's
games.
the difference. Is the thing with Tony was that he was hurt a lot of the times. That's why he
Well, I
didn't.
pray to God he don't go crazy in Kansas City.
I think he will. He is.
I pray to God, bro.
He will.
Oh my goodness, son.
Yeah, I told my Madden league, I got the Chiefs in one league. I said, "Yo, can we restart?"
What you say?
I got the Chiefs in one of my Madden leagues. I got the Chiefs, I got the 49ers in one league. I got the Giants in another league, and then I got the Browns. All three of those four leagues. I was like, "Yo, can we restart?" How do we feel about a restart? Like, I'm praying Madden fucks up and we have to restart.
Yo,
Just so I can be like, I'm keeping my team.
Very quietly, the Cleveland Browns are treading water before the massage man himself is back. We a couple weeks until he about to be able to practice. I think like in 1 or 2 weeks he can start practicing.
What's their record?
No, he was able to return back to the practice facility today, like this week.
They 3-5.
Yeah.
Which is like,
and Roger Goodell said that he has satisfied all of his off-field requirements to be reinstated.
Well, I think they may be a game behind, I believe.
Yeah. I think they're third in their division, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Very quietly, they just hanging around.
Yeah, they're third. Ravens are 5-3, Bengals 4-4, Cleveland 3-5.
And then the AFC not that strong, so they can still fight for the wild card.
Everybody thought all the wild card spots was going to the AFC West. Shit me. Not now.
Looking like the East now.
Say you shit me.
Shit me.
Shout out to the NFC East, baby.
The East on both sides doing their thing.
Yeah, definitely. I'll agree. All records are, pointing. And it's crazy because the West in both sides was supposed to be the dominant team, the dominant teams, and now everybody fucking struggling.
Yo, before we close out on football, shout out to Geno Smith, bro.
Bruh.
shout out to Geno, man. All this shit he been through, bro.
Steven.
Shout out to Geno Smith, man.
PH alone, man.
I was mad, my Giants. Oh, that was a horrible fucking game. But shout out to Geno, man.
Yo, he's definitely playing lights fucking out, man. It's gonna be
all right. Relax, not lights out. He's having a good.
He's been consistent though.
He's doing a good job managing.
I'll say this point blank. Some of the passes the passes that I've seen him make, I would have never thought Geno Smith would be making those passes.
Well, since we're here, let's talk about that. I think one of the biggest issues in football is people, teams, coaches, front offices being impatient with quarterbacks. They are so quick. If you're not the guy in 3 years, that's it. You're thrown away. And I feel like we're kind of seeing a change. We're seeing the tides turn a little bit. For one, this isn't a perfect example, but for one, Patrick Mahomes, he didn't start right away. He sat his first year. Then he came along. You got people like Ryan Tannehill, not the greatest, but a very good quarterback.
A lot better than he was his first situation.
Exactly. Like, that's what the guys that I'm naming, I'm comparing where they are the last couple years to where they began. Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, Geno Smith. There's somebody else that I'm missing right now. Even I don't like this guy, but he's doing pretty well. Even Andy Dalton is doing it right over there. But I just feel like we gotta stop.
What you want to say about Andy?
Not about Andy. Go ahead, Pop.
We gotta stop thinking that everybody's gonna be
Patrick Mahomes or fucking
because Patrick Mahomes. I can't even say Josh Allen because he took his time as well. Everybody, you're not gonna just walk in the door. Everybody's not gonna walk in the door and just be the greatest quarterback of all time.
So with that, damn, we can go on. That's why I love football. You can go. It's so many angles you can go to talk about football. Where is why am I having a brain fart right now? Jacksonville.
Oh,
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Listen.
Is he
slow?
slow?
Don't have a team yet.
I don't watch him yet. I don't watch him enough to say anything, but I'm not moving on from Trevor Lawrence.
Nope.
I'm not moving on from Trevor Lawrence.
Not yet. But I would say in rebuttal to what Pop said, for every one of those that you said, Pop, there's a Mitchell Trubisky, there's a Paxton Lynch, there's a
Jets,
Drew Lock.
The Jets. Now Carolina.
Oh, Sam.
I was getting there. There's a Sam Darnold. There's a Baker Mayfield. So for every one of those, there's a quarterback that has vanished. Who was the dude that the Arizona took with the number two pick? I think Josh Rosen.
Wow.
You know, like for every one of those that you said, there's
that's
one of
crazy.
those.
But
I remember all the Rosen talk.
But the only other thing was too, I was gonna say, is the issue with that as a quarterback, your second contract is usually your biggest.
Yeah.
So that's where I say they give up because we got to give you mad bread now at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They got to be some way around that. Like not the franchise? Isn't there another type of tag? Not the franchise tag. Isn't there another tag that's a little bit less than what the franchise tag is? No?
It's only the franchise tag, yeah.
But listen,
outside of the franchise tag, you have the 5th-year option that may be what you're talking about. But that's only for, I think, lottery picks or first-round picks that gets that option.
Like, I look at it like with my Giants. Right?
I was just about to say that. Like, I think more teams.
I would do like a
1 year deal.
I would do not even one. I would do like a 2-year.
Well, 1 or 2, depending on how you want to spread the money.
2 year, $30 million or some shit like that.
Yeah, depending on how you want to spread the money. I think the way the Giants are playing it with Daniel Jones is the perfect way to play it.
So I found what I was talking about. It's called the transition tag. So the franchise tag is the average of the top 5 salaries at that position. The transition tag is the average of the top 10 instead of the top 5. So you can still
little education.
I didn't know about transition tag. So I was listening to Keyshawn talk about Daniel Jones, and I think this is kind of the problem, but I can't call it a problem because I'm all for people getting their money. But they was talking about Daniel Jones, and Kellerman was like, We could give him like 3 years, $30 million or something like that. And he was like, he would never do that. And he was like, why not? He was like, because he's a starting quarterback. And he was like, so what? He was like, if somebody's a starting quarterback, they're going to take starting quarterback money, even if it's the bottom of starting quarterback money. He's like, there's no starting quarterback that's going to accept $10 million a year on a deal. He was like, he's always been a starter. He's taken the next contract to be a starter. You're asking him to take less than, I think Trubisky's making like $12 million this year or something like that. They like, you asking him to take less than a backup? Like, that don't make sense. He was like, at the very minimum, it would have to be like 25 a year. So it's like, when you hear that, it's like, damn, do you want to pay Daniel Jones $75 million over 3 years? It ain't the worst, but it's like, because people are paying, and I feel like we spoke about this before, like, when we saw Trubisky's contract, it was like, whoa. But he did get paid to be the starter. But it was somebody else, too, that, like, I can't think of the other player that was a backup quarterback. He got like 10 million, 11 million or something like that.
No, the highest paid backup was Jimmy Garoppolo. He was still being, even when he redid his contract, that was still the highest paid for a backup.
Okay. So it's like
Jimmy G. Shut fuck up.
everything in the NFL was on a scale.
Yeah.
And that's what Chris said is true. And that goes for every position. It's like they got to evaluate, do I want to pay this guy on that scale? Because it's like that's the only option. You have to fit them into that scale. And if you don't want to do that, you cut bait and then you go draft something or sign a veteran or somebody.
So I think the issue is FOMO. You know what I mean? Like teams feeling like, damn, I've been working on this fucking slot machine for 3 years, and I had a chance of keeping him, but I let him go because I felt like he wasn't the right fit.
Let me give you a better analogy. I paid for her to get her body done so she can do. Nah. You staying here, girl.
Yeah.
You staying right here.
Motherfucker came out of left field with that one.
You staying with me for life.
You mine.
You getting that Mahomes contract. You ain't going nowhere.
Whole baseball contract, 15 years. You here now until you washed. But no, like teams don't want to, build up, go through being trash with a quarterback that they felt like had promise and then let him walk. And then next thing you know, he cooking. And it's like, damn, if we'd have waited one more year, or if we would have made this one coaching transition and that was all he needed. Because a lot of times it don't even be the quarterback, it be just the scheme and the offense that they're in. So it's really trying to designate which one is really the problem, the quarterback or the fit at that point. But either way, yeah, that shit is terrible. But it can spark up to where somebody who don't deserve it gets paid, and somebody who does deserve it just playing on low money. Like, I don't even know how much Geno Smith is actually making this year. That's the crazy shit.
I'll tell you right now.
Or like as much shit as they were talking about Jalen Hurts, yo, he about to get paid.
Oh, most definitely.
He is about to get paid. I think he's a second round pick.
Geno Smith. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure this is correct. Yeah, this is correct. Geno Smith is making $1.2 million.
Look at that. Talk about a steal?
No. 1 year, 3.5.
For Geno Smith?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
Says Smith re-signed with Seattle 1 week before.
I'm looking at base salary. Yeah. 1.3.
3.5. That's still wild low, though. It's crazy.
For a quarterback, exactly.
Still wild.
Like, even who's actually, like, they're not great, but he's getting another chance, and he did his time.
Mariota?
Yep, exactly. That's exactly who I was going with. Like, he did his time, and now he's getting a chance to start.
Like who?
Marcus Mariota.
Okay.
You know, he looks the part. You know what I mean? Like, he still has some issues. The team has some issues, I'll say. I feel like the issues
Gino's
that the Falcons
solid.
have is more the team.
Solid.
Huh?
He's playing solid.
Yeah, that's why I said I feel like it's more the team than him.
Yeah, I can't take it. He was making against the Giants. He didn't make no dumb plays.
Mm-hmm.
His passes was on point. More so than not. Like, yeah, like I said to start this conversation. Shout out to Gino.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Shouts to the black quarterback. Back, we have a special guest here in the house.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
Clap it up for him. We'd like to welcome our man Justin.
What's going on?
Huncho.
Julio.
Oh, man.
Play the theme song. Play the theme song.
Nah, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna let him live. We got our resident Spanish member of the MizFitz here. I don't know how you say MizFitz in Spanish. I don't know.
I don't know.
El MizFitzo.
El MizFitzo.
El MizFitzo.
El MizFitzo.
Telemundo. All right, no, never mind. I'm just playing.
Yo, by the way, Orlando about to beat Golden State. Son. You need to rep them, son. Rep Kissimmee,
my friend is at the game right now. Courtside,
rep Orlando Kissimmee, son.
I'll never rep Orlando. Never.
That's crazy.
All right, man.
But man, Justin is here. We got a nice hot topic here, and he is a huge fan of this person. So we wanted to get the opinion of, somebody that may be on the other side of this. But, speaking of Kyrie Irving, we recently had discussions. He was a topic of discussion on the podcast before, correct? From previous events. I think he's been a regular in topics. But
I believe. Did we touch on that?
He's always in topics.
No, prior situations.
No, I'm talking about prior. I don't know if we touched on Kyrie.
Oh yeah, in the past, definitely.
Yeah. Prior episodes, we've touched on some Kyrie Irving incidents. But once again, Kyrie Irving is in the news, in the media for non-basketball related events. So recently there has been anti-Semitic views and a book that Kyrie Irving retweeted. I believe it was.
We don't need to say the name. We don't need to say the name.
Okay. I won't.
No promotion.
I mean, I don't need no promotion. It's like the number one seller at this point. But,
that's a fact.
But his views have been deemed as in support of those views of the anti-Semitic realm, and he has denied apologizing. He has denounced any anti-Semitic views and made a generous contribution to a anti-Semitic league?
ADL, Anti-Defamation League.
Yeah, Anti-Defamation League, which they unfortunately declined to accept. Since then, he has been suspended. Yeah, after the fact. But he has been suspended for a minimum of 5 games by the Brooklyn Nets, barring any I guess, retraction or apologies being made that would then move forward and they would deem him feasible to play for the team again. So with that, obviously, we've touched on different things in the past with, the Kanye West situation. And now, the Kyrie Irving situation just ties right into it. But we wanted to get Justin on here just so that we can go, get the understanding of an actual fan and see what his views are. So, Justin, we're going to let you start it off.
With the Lakers hat on.
Appreciate you.
With the Lakers hat on. Crazy. I didn't want to talk about that, but go ahead.
First of all, I believe in freedom of speech, just like everybody else, all right? Now, I'm not going to say he's promoting it. He did put it on his page, which is basically promoting it. But you got to understand, if you look back to years back, Colin Kaepernick did almost the exact same thing as Kyrie Irving, right? Am I right or wrong? With kneeling over police brutality.
I would say you're wrong on that part. I would
Am
say
I
that's
wrong?
wrong.
Not the same. Not the same. But go ahead.
Wait. When you say the same thing, what do you mean?
Like everybody was against him, and now years to come, everybody's starting to see like, oh, okay, I see why he did it. It's starting to happen.
Okay.
That's what I
I
mean.
wouldn't call it the same, but I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean. Kaepernick was entitled to doing that. That was his freedom of speech. Nobody respected it. All right. NFL found him, right?
No, they didn't do nothing. So
They didn't
The NFL
find
didn't
him.
do nothing?
They blackballed him.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. What the NBA, I think the Nets are doing it. The media is just promoting him for no reason. The media is just on him for no reason. There's too much heat on Kyrie Irving. There's always something about Kyrie Irving for no reason at all. It's not, you know what I'm saying? He didn't apologize. He donated $500. I think $500,000. I think that was his apology. And now they digging the situation too deep, and they just not. They don't want nothing. They just want an apology. And Kyrie's not going to do that. Why? It's a freedom of speech. I don't believe he should apologize because, you know, there's what about NBA players right now promoting gun violence, listening to rappers about killing and all that? Nobody gonna say nothing about that. That's not a serious thing, right? But let Kyrie Irving post that on Instagram, and one person see that, another retweet, it's gonna be all over the media for no reason, just because he posted it. I just think Kyrie Irving is a targeted individual for speaking his mind that nobody else in the world is gonna say. Even regardless if it's true or not, he's just being targeted. It's unnecessary for no reason.
I don't
I'd like
disagree
to
with the
touch on.
target.
Go ahead.
I don't disagree with the target. I do think that he's under the microscope more than anybody else. If I don't know, I don't want to name any names, but if I do believe if other athletes just posted that link, I don't even think as many people would even click on the link to know what it was to begin with. Again, it feels nasty bringing up other people, but before the season started, and it just all come down to the group of people that you're offending. Before the season started, there was a video of Anthony Edwards using a homosexual slur out of his mouth. He actually said the words. No suspension. He got a little fine, and that was it, and moved on from that. Like, I can only go by what everybody else is saying because I'm not reading the book. I have no interest in reading what the book is. Yeah. I've seen a bunch of different summaries online about what it's about, what it's supposed to be about, and what it actually is about. But I just feel like if he didn't say the words,
he wouldn't be in a situation.
What are we actually holding him against? Because when they spoke to him, he said, "I'm not anti-Semitic." But it's like they don't care that he's saying that he's not. They care that he posted the link to this book.
Said, "I'm not anti-Semitic if I know where I'm from." That's what he said.
So it's like I'm
not saying Kyrie's in the right, but I'm also saying the NBA. I'm not saying Kyrie's wrong, but I'm not saying the NBA is right.
I think it just comes down to it's the group of people that's being offended. Yeah. Because if it was a different group, this would have been brushed under the rug a long time ago. But it just kept getting bigger and bigger because the group is a very strong. Not just that it's Kyrie Irving, just the group that was offended by the link of very strong people.
I feel like he's been targeted ever since. I don't know if y'all ever seen this video of him walking in the arena, saging. Everybody was making, I feel like everybody was on him after that.
Now he's not. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. He's not a victim. He's not a victim.
Thank you. I'm holding. I'm waiting for the torch to be.
I'm not saying he's a victim.
My way.
I'm just saying.
But thank you for saying that, Pop. Thank you.
I'm not saying he's a victim. I'm just saying they targeted him for the wrong stuff. Like,
so let me jump in here.
Yeah.
Nobody is targeted just for being innocent. People get targeted because they have a history, because they have a pattern. Kyrie has done some things, whether you agree or not, that puts him in the limelight. When it was with the vaccination, people thought he was being selfish because he didn't want to get vaccinated and he was hurting his team's chances of competing for a title. Some people thought that he had a right not to get the vaccine. Other people thought that it was thought that it was selfish of him not to get the vaccine. So whether you agree or not, he prides himself on being that martyr.
But that's the media. Are you not entitled?
No, that's not the media. That's not the media.
Are you not entitled to your own body? That's what I'm saying.
You are. But if you're of a certain caliber, right? Do you think of if give me a bum on the Nets that rides the bench?
Bruce Brown.
No, he was getting burned.
Yeah, right. Who's that Chinese kid?
Watanabe.
Yeah, him.
Yeah. Do you think if he didn't get vaccinated, anybody would care?
No, nobody would care.
Not the media.
Nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't care. Fans wouldn't care
because nobody knows who he is.
Exactly. So if now with fame and fortune comes great responsibility, right? If you're a star, the limelight is on you. Now, if you take a stand and you choose, and with all respect to his stand, he is going to face consequences or repercussions or judgment from both sides, whether people agree with him or whether they don't agree with him. That's just his stature, and he has to live with that, and he has to own that. Now, all respect, take your stand, and that's your stand. You don't want to get the vaccination, by all means, but people are going to comment on it, and people are going to.
That's life. Everybody's going to comment.
So it's going to happen. So he's not a victim. He's not targeted. He puts himself out there to say, "This is the stand I'm going to take, and I stand for it." Now, when it comes to this post, me and Justin had a conversation earlier. You don't post nothing on Instagram or Twitter or whatever that you don't have some kind of connection with. You're just not posting up a picture. Like, I'm not just going to post a picture of a KKK book, up on my IG or on my Facebook or whatever. Like, I'm not going to do it. If I post something, it means something to me. Something in that post I connect with. Right,
but that's you. That's how you post.
No, in general. Let's not be naive. Nobody's posting a random quote or anything.
But
on,
not everybody.
On IG.
That's you not doing that. That's what you believe. But everybody use social media for so many reasons. So you can use it. You know what I'm saying?
So tell me what reason do you think Kyrie had to post that?
I'm not saying that.
I'm just asking in your opinion. If you had to come up with something.
Huh? Why I think he posted it?
Yeah.
I can't give you a reason on why he posted it. I just feel like why is everybody I don't know, yo. Everybody's because of I get it. What he posted, yes. Why he posted it, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody posts a lot of stuff.
So here's the issue.
But they just taking it. They look at something they don't like and they take it to a whole other level.
So I would say in regards to that, okay, perfect. Nobody knows why he posted it. But when you're asked about it, why not denounce it and say, well, that's not how I feel? And then when you're asked, well, then why did you post it? I mean, it could have been as easy as, hey, this is XYZ. What are your thoughts? Or what is everybody else's thoughts?
No, he answered why. He answered why he posted it.
But he gave an answer to where the media can't overturn his answer and making him look like the bad guy.
So let's just make it clear. What was his answer?
That's not.
I'll have to pull it up. Y'all keep talking. I'll pull it up.
Got you.
He said, I don't remember why he did it, but
he said something, and Pop's gonna pull up. But he said something about he posted it to reflect on how blacks are Jews, basically. That's why he posted it. But in that documentary, it's supposed. I didn't see it. I didn't watch it, but others.
But that's the thing. Nobody's watched it. Nobody has watched it.
Don't say nobody. Somebody has watched it. Somebody has watched it.
All right, somebody has watched it, but nobody's heard of it. Nobody's heard of it till now because of how hyped the topic is.
Exactly, because somebody of Kyrie's statures posted it on their IG and supported.
That's where you got to be accountable for the leverage that you hold in the position that you possess. At that point,
it's a part of life. Like we as something that I said to Justin earlier, you can't go to work and say something crazy. I hate this group of people.
No,
and just be okay. It's freedom of speech, but you got to live with the consequence.
That was exactly where I was.
The consequences might be your boss is going to say you're fired.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's the consequence.
Absolutely.
Whether you believe it
Absolutely.
or not, whether you have people in your family, your friends that support you in your feelings, but when you have to live up to something and you have a person to answer to, a team to answer to, an organization to answer to, and an organization has to protect their product, then you have to live up to those consequences.
All right, so now let me ask you a question, because this isn't this is regarding that topic, but it's not. So you said everybody has to face their consequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is back to what I was telling you about earlier. This got nothing to do with the situation. This got to do with Draymond Green.
Go ahead.
Now, a video of Draymond Green hitting Jordan Poole surfaced on the internet. He got no fine, no suspension. Now, you said Kyrie and Draymond, they both playing in a multi-billion-dollar league. So as you are playing in a multi-million-dollar league, you should know there's certain things you can do and certain things you can't do. So if you know that you cannot get into a little altercation with another player, and on top of that, it went viral, where's his consequences at? Instead of finding somebody for using his choice of words for freedom of speech, $500,000, and
I'll let one of them take this answer.
No, you can answer it.
No, because I already answered to him, but I want to get your perspective.
Yeah, I'll answer it. But go ahead, Pop. You found it?
He was saying that some of the stuff in the documentary is just showing like the heritage of his people. Basically, what Chris was saying, how Africans were the original Jews.
Right. Okay. That's what he did. That's what he said. Yeah.
Okay, so the difference there is, as far as what you said, Justin, is it's team based. Each team has their own code of conduct, code of ethics. You know, however they handle it is at that point. Unfortunately, as an employee, you're subject to whatever it is your team that deems or your employer deems as their code of conduct and their ethics at that point. So if you were to, whoever you're employed for, again, if you were to, because a lot of employers scrub social media to make sure you ain't got no craziness out there. So if they were to find something on your social media and they say, oh, well, this goes against our code of ethics, and as a company, we don't want to associate our brand with a person that views in this light.
That way.
We're gonna terminate the relationship between us two. At that point, the company has that right. So the nets are the company or the employer at this point.
Absolutely.
So that's where he's subject to whatever it is that they deem as their code of ethics and their conduct policy at that point. So now, the difference between that Draymond Green to me is that where that team deemed that they were able to handle it differently, and behind closed doors, we don't know what the conversation was, what took place between him and Jordan Poole and the management and ownership. But this is like you said, because it was made public via video, which shouldn't have happened, but it happened, and they handled it on their own behind closed doors. In this case, this situation is affecting more than one person, where the Draymond Green situation affected one person.
Now, what would have happened if, say, the next day, for example, 2 NBA players got into a fight? That would have reflected to the whole Draymond Green situation, right? In the locker room. If 2 NBA players would have gotten into a fight in the locker room, and it would have resurfaced.
On the same team or different?
On a different team. On a whole different team. A whole different team.
Well, no. But I'm saying
he
mean like 2 different teams fighting, or like just teammates fighting?
2 different players on the same team fighting, and a video gets surfaced on the internet.
It's probably happened already.
So
we don't know.
It wouldn't even be considered an influence that Draymond.
It's not an influence.
No, but listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. So nobody's gonna be like, oh, they're doing this now because Draymond and Poole did this. So everybody thinks it's okay to do this. Nobody's gonna think that.
No,
I don't think so.
And it will be a reach. If somebody did say that, it would be a reach. It would be a reach.
Like, say if that team decided to suspend those players, and they tried to fight, like, well, Golden State didn't suspend Draymond. That ain't got nothing to do with us. We're a different entity. We're a different team.
And Justin, to simplify it, on top of what Yitiri said about the employer, Draymond and Poole fighting is a personal one-on-one altercation.
Yeah.
Right? So if Poole goes to Golden State and says, listen, I can't play with this guy or whatever, then Golden State has to address the situation and see how to move forward, right? Then that can be less let's suspend Dray. We're going to suspend Draymond 10 games or whatever, right? So that's a decision. But what Kyrie did directly affected a whole community of consumers, right? It's consumers, right? Bottom line, it's consumers.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
The Nets
You
and the
got to add
NBA,
something to the consumers too. You got to add something. It's something else. It's more than just consumers too. Adam Silver is Jewish. A lot of the owners in the NBA are Jewish.
And you're playing in the second largest Jewish community in the world, behind Israel.
Mm.
So if you do that, then the Nets have the responsibility to say we have to do something. Now, if you realize this was how long this been going on for 2 weeks?
Nah, like 1 week.
A week and a half.
A week and a half.
Yeah.
They took it very slow to see what the talk was going to be. It wasn't no immediate. Oh, we denounced and we.
The media boosted it up.
Huh?
The media. I'm not gonna say the media boosted it up.
I think that's Justin's beef. That if the media didn't amplify it, it would have went away.
It would have been
So don't get me wrong.
What it is right now.
I agree with the targeted rhetoric. Like absolutely, the same way on the court. Like since we brought up Draymond Green, the same way Draymond Green is targeted for a technical, like they look for him to react, and they like, oh, gotcha. I feel like Kyrie was definitely targeted in this situation.
I guarantee you, a week from now,
I can't buy it. I can't buy it.
A week or 2 weeks from now, everybody's gonna say something about him, like, "Oh, this is his excuse of why he can't play. He can't play because of this reason. This is the excuse again. They gonna. I mean,
it won't be his excuse. It'll be the excuse of the Nets.
No. Justin's correct. Justin is definitely correct.
That's his excuse.
They're gonna say he found another way not to play.
I don't think that.
Social media is gonna boost it up, and they're going to say even more hate than what he already has right now.
They're going to say, "This is why you can't trust Kyrie."
I'll agree with that. Yes.
And give him guaranteed money or whatever the case. But that's the spin they're gonna put on it because he's too unstable.
All of that's gonna go into one thing. What you said and what Justin's saying, they're gonna say both. They're gonna say both. They're gonna be like, "It's always a reason why he can't play.
Always a reason why he don't play. Something's always happening to him. They paying him this much money."
Okay, so let me get to the other, I guess, roundabout question that comes in the topic. At this point now, is it the league looking for something with Kyrie Irving, or are we saying that Kyrie just needs to stop with the antics and it's him seeking out this attention for whatever reason, whatever the back end, reasoning is?
I'm not gonna say the league's wrong for going at him, because like I said, I don't believe he's right. It is a freedom of speech, but I don't think that. I don't know. That's a tough one.
What you think, Pop?
It's
it's
hard for me because I feel like when you ask how long it's been going on, it's like the same. Like I feel like the NBA got the same heat from the media that Kyrie got from the media, that Brooklyn Nets got from the media. If it was like certain reporters that if you just follow everything they wrote, it would be about Kyrie, and then it would be like, and then Adam Silver hasn't done nothing yet, and Brooklyn hasn't done anything yet, and they was
LeBron hadn't spoken.
Yeah, they was like other players haven't stepped up and said no, he's right. Yeah, they was saying that too. They was like, LeBron is quick to say something when this happens, but he's not saying nothing when this happens. They was doing that, so it's like. I don't think the NBA wanted to step in on this at all.
I completely agree.
They did not want to touch in on this.
They did not want to touch it.
If the media would have left it alone, or because, like I said, Kyrie's not a victim. If he would have apologized,
you're right.
But now that's what a targeted, or not. I don't want to use the word targeted. They just don't. The dislike for Kyrie Irving. I feel like if he would have apologized,
you think his donation was an apology? You think his donation
I don't think What you say?
You think his donation was considered an apology?
No.
They needed to hear those words.
But I don't think they wanted to.
I was telling Julio that. I was telling him that.
I don't think the ADL wanted to hear the words.
You don't think it even mattered to them?
No, because they only pulled the money after all of this happened. They saw. You think the ADL didn't see what that press release was when they gave them the money? They saw what the write up was. There was no "I'm sorry" in there, but yet they took the money and they was happy and they accepted it. It wasn't again until the media was like, "Oh, he still didn't apologize though," and then it was like that became the thing that he didn't say sorry though, and then they was like, "Oh, we're not accepting the money." If nobody says nothing, everybody goes along with their day. And that's the part that I kind of dislike because, hey, listen, the media, their job is to hold athletes accountable.
What they say.
That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. So I'm not mad at the media. It's like everything else, though. It's like everybody can't be holier than thou because y'all was cool with everything too.
Yeah.
Wasn't nobody saying anything. If nobody made a fuss about it, nobody was going to say anything. So don't puff your chest out like we in the right because y'all not really in the right. Y'all just reacting just like everybody else.
My issue, I think what I'd say is you can't pick and choose when you want to have a problem with bigotry and racism or anti-Semitic slurs. Like you can't be, and I sort of agree with where the LeBrons and all of that because if it's somebody saying nigga or the N-word,
I'm with you, but he didn't use a slur. He didn't say any slur.
He didn't say anything.
So here's what I got from having the conversation. It was, well, Kyrie never said anything. He just posted it. So take that same idea, and if an owner or somebody who was in the limelight for using the N-word or using a racial slur, they didn't say it, but they retweeted it. So does that make them saying nigger fine because they retweeted it?
No.
And they didn't say it?
No. Well, what happened is they will question him the same way they questioned Kyrie and say, why did you post this? And then from that point on is how it gets handled.
Which is how we got here. And this is why I agree with how we're here now. Because
but I don't think LeBron or other players should have been like. He said he's not anti-Semitic.
I don't think they should have put their 2 cents.
At that point, as another player, I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as he says out his mouth, "Yo, I'm not anti-Semitic." All right.
So why did they still care when the owner that they pushed to get him off the team and not own the team no more? Because he denounced it and said, "Hey, that's not my feelings, and I've changed." And whatever, but they still pushed for him to give up the team.
He was saying this to people, son.
But like, that's what I'm saying. But if he'd have tweeted it, would it have been different?
That's not the same thing, son.
No, but I'm asking, if he would have tweeted it, would that have been different? If it would have just been, I didn't say it, I tweeted it.
If you'd have tweeted a link to a book, somebody would have asked them why. Maybe not. They probably wouldn't even caught it because they're not popular enough. But they would have asked them, why did you post this book, the link to this book? And then however they answer go from there is how it goes.
Yep.
But if they say I'm not racist, if they say I'm not racist, I wasn't posting it for that reason. What can you say?
And then they ask you, well, then why? And do you understand this hurt whatever race or whatever?
That's why. That's the part that's why I'm saying he's not a victim because he could have just apologized. He chose not to apologize. But
and that's why I say we'd have still been in the same situation.
What I'm saying is, when you said that other players can't pick and choose, that's what I was responding to. There was no reason for another player to say anything. The moment Kyrie goes up there and say, "I'm not anti-Semitic," why Chips from the Knicks need to say, "Yo, Kyrie bugging"? Because
you should, even though you're not anti-Semitic, you should still apologize. Just like you said, a white owner saying, "I'm not racist." Like that's like a white owner saying, "I'm not racist. Look at all the black people I hired." Look at all the black players that play for me. Like they could say that, and then you could be like, well, he got a point.
I don't see.
You know what I mean?
I don't see why players need to say anything about that.
I don't feel like they should be forced to say anything about any of it. I agree with that. There should be no realm of they have to say anything. But when you pick and choose when you do, that's where the criticism comes into play for me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My whole thing with it is.
Do you think players should have said something, Chips?
Yeah, I think players should, like the way I feel, and I said this before, in personal conversations. I don't care whether you black, whether you Chinese, whether you white. I don't condone no form of defamation, hate, bigotry, racism, or whatever. Across the board. So if somebody of my race is saying something racist or talking about, just like when COVID came around and people was saying dumb shit about Asian people, I stopped them right there. Chill, don't do that. Like you being ignorant or whatever. So if I was a player in the league, if I was LeBron, and I'm out there, Black Lives Matter, police brutality. When I see somebody of my own saying something against another, race or religion or whatever the case may be, I'm going to speak up on that as well.
I agree, but that's why I keep bringing up the fact that he
didn't say
said I'm not anti-Semitic. Once he say that, what do you need to say as a player?
Let me ask you a question.
No, just wait, because I'm asking you that question. Once
I'm answering your question, but I have to answer your question with a question, and I'll tell you why. I don't believe the way his actions and demeanor was on during that press conference where he said he's not anti-Semitic. I don't think that was heartfelt. I didn't get that it was heartfelt.
So you would have said something because you didn't believe it.
Right.
All right.
Right. So I felt like he just said it to, again, try to brush it off. I know this is what y'all want to hear. Y'all want to hear sorry, but I'm not going to say sorry. But I'm going to just tell you I'm not anti-Semitic.
I definitely think he took the wrong and strong stance of, I'm not giving y'all motherfuckers what y'all want. Fuck
That's
that.
A fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. People have a problem with saying sorry. People have a problem with saying sorry. People do not like apologizing. It's like they think it makes them vulnerable or make them look weak or something for saying sorry about something.
Mm-hmm. And again, I feel like Kyrie had ample opportunity to sort this out and make it okay. And again,
I think that's why they waited. They was like, all right, we're going to give him one more media interview. We're going to give him one more. I'm sure it was plenty of
conversations. Even some of the reporters was like, trying to lead. I feel like some of the questions was trying to lead him to say the right thing. And he was just like, you're not getting it, bro. Like, I'm not giving you this. I'm not giving you the soundbite that I know you want.
I ain't gonna lie to you. As another player, I can't take that stance. If you ask me a question about it, I'll give my opinion. But I can't go up. I can't go up there and be like, I don't think you was sincere. You need to do it. Like, who am I? Who am I to tell you that what you said wasn't sincere? So I can only go by what you said.
No, I'm not going to go. Yeah. I'm not going to go over there and directly speak to him.
No, I'm talking about in the media as another player.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put myself in Minnesota.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not going to go to the media and speak directly against him.
Yeah, I would put myself.
That's what Yickety talking about, though. He's saying, why not speak out?
So, like, as far as proactively, no, I completely agree with you. But if I were to be if it were to come up, like, as, how do you feel about what's going on in Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving? At that point, you're obligated. Not proactively, not just to come out and be like, oh yeah, and I also like to say Kyrie bugging. Like, no. No. That's like talking on another player money. You don't
know because that's what they criticizing him about, because they come out and say stuff on their
proactively
social
without
media.
If you feel, if I'm LeBron, I'm simply coming out, and it's just if you feel this way. And if I was LeBron, I would feel this way. Any hate, I would have did it with Kanye or whatever. Any hate against any race or religion, I do not condone. And we need to move forward and leave that stuff behind. Simple. You don't got to speak directly to Kanye. You don't have to speak directly to Kyrie, but make a statement because you at one point, like E3 said, you want to stand on peace. You want to stand on equality, and you want to stand against racism, and hatred, or whatever. You can't do it part-time just for your people because that's, as a society, as a world, that's why we're at, because people only want to defend their own instead of everyone being one human race.
Yeah.
I feel like the other thing for me is a lot of the Kyrie shit now, going back to the vaccination and now this, it's very divisive actions. It's very, divisive play, and I think that's where the main issue is it's forcing people to make a choice on which side of the line you stand on.
No.
I don't think that this one is decisive. The vaccine one is different.
Yeah,
this
vaccine.
One,
everybody was talking to him for standing what he believed in.
This one is completely different, bro. Like,
so the reason I say divisive,
nobody's for hate. So it's like
the reason I say divisive is his response to the to the accountability was, well, it's me standing for my people. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so now do you choose being pro-black or this hate that is coming off as far as, anti-Semitism in this particular, book towards this particular race? Is it considered, like, which one do you stand on?
Religion,
that's
not
where
race.
I think the divisive is. What you said?
Religion, not race.
Yes, religion, because that's definitely a misconception that being Jewish is a race and not a religion. Absolutely.
But yeah, man, we gonna see.
Julio, man, we appreciate you for joining the show, man.
Appreciate you for having me, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Yo, Orlando won, baby. You come on the show
man.
and Orlando beat the defending champs, baby.
With his Lakers hat on.
Support Kobe, man. RP Kobe. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, man.
We appreciate
Justin,
you.
What's going on, Chips?
Favorite NBA team?
Favorite NBA team?
Yes.
Nets. Nets only because Kyrie my favorite player and KD my favorite player.
Okay. Favorite football team? NFL.
Steelers.
Favorite NBA MLB?
Yankees.
All right.
That's it?
That's it.
Your favorite town in Orlando? Your favorite town in Orlando?
My mom's house. All right, y'all.
All right,
man. Take it easy.
All right.